When people defend bad animated movies by saying, come on, they're meant for kids, 90% of the time they're talking about Illumination, the crown jewel of terrible animated movies. I truly believe Illumination has done irreparable damage to the entire industry. Their movies are lazy and have no artistic value whatsoever. The cinematic equivalent to jangling keys. You look at other studios like Pixar, Studio Ghibli, Disney Animations, DreamWorks. They all make films that appeal to people of all ages. Of course they're directed more at children, but adults can enjoy them too. Illumination films, however, lack substance. They exist as products, not art. And to be honest, I feel bad for the children who are growing up on Illumination instead of something like Pixar or Ghibli. But anyway, I could go on all day describing why I dislike Illumination as a company, but that's not what I'm here to do today. I'm actually here to rank all 16 Illumination films, because yes, I have seen all of them. I guess I enjoy subjecting myself to pain and boredom. Please subscribe, it'll make me feel better. But as a disclaimer, some of these films I haven't seen in a very long time. So this ranking may or may not be fully accurate to my taste. I'm just going based off of the vibes. And I won't be giving these films any in-depth reviews, I'm only giving my surface level opinions. And because most of these films are terrible, I'll be ranking them from best to worst. Let's begin. This is the first Illumination film ever made, and it's the only one I would consider good. Talk about peaking early. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the first Despicable Me is actually pretty good. It's a simple story with a fun premise, and I like how the focus is on Gru and the girls instead of the minions. I think the minions can be funny in small doses, but I don't like it when they take center stage. But of course, this film was made before the minions became a worldwide phenomenon, and therefore the story focuses more on the human side of things, which is great. It's a cute movie that I would consider kind of iconic by now. It's funny and has a good message. It's by no means a masterpiece, but it's fun. It's a shame it all went downhill from here. Despicable Me 2 is a fine follow-up to the original, but this is where the cracks begin to shine. It's like they're throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks, and while some of it does, a lot of it doesn't. I'll be honest, I have a lot of nostalgia for the Despicable Me franchise, but these films really haven't aged well. But in the grand scheme of things, 2 is okay. It makes me laugh a decent amount. And I actually think this film does a decent job expanding its world, but it certainly lacks the narrative focus of the first film. By the time Despicable Me 4 came out, Illumination was already established as the worst mainstream animation studio, and I went into the film with the lowest of expectations. But to be honest, I had a pretty fun time at the cinemas with this film. It's definitely not a good movie, but what I appreciate about Despicable Me 4 is that it fully commits to the silliness. It barely even tries telling a story, and instead goes all out with the slapstick. And while the result is a mess, it did give me a few good laughs. I don't remember much about Minions Rise of Gru, aside from the whole gentle Minions meme, but I do remember this being an improvement over Minions, which we'll talk about soon. This one has Gru as a kid, which I guess is kind of amusing. And like I said, while I don't like Minions being the main focal point, I do think they can be occasionally funny. But yeah, I haven't seen this film since it came out, so I don't remember much about it, but I do know it's better than most of what Illumination puts out. I'm just realizing every film I've talked about so far has been a part of the Despicable Me franchise. Don't worry, we'll get to the other stuff soon. But this franchise is the best thing Illumination has going for them, which is kind of depressing. Despicable Me 3 is the one where Gru has a twin brother. They were clearly running out of ideas. Again, there are some funny moments here and there, but I would argue this is the most boring film in the franchise. It's narratively uninteresting, and not nearly as silly as Despicable Me 4. To me, it feels like a collection of leftover gags. For all their flaws, I would happily rewatch any one of the Despicable Me films right now. Except for this one. The Grinch. Well, the Tyler songs were pretty fun. It's a very inoffensive film. There really isn't much to say about it. Benedict Cumberbatch is pretty good as the Grinch, and for Illumination standards, the animation is pretty decent. But the film as a whole is so insubstantial. I guess you could watch it on Christmas, but why would you? There are so many better Christmas films out there. What's crazy is that this is still one of the better Illumination films. The bar is in hell. Minions, here we go again. But don't worry, this is the final Despicable Me entry on this list. The problem with Minions is that it's exactly that, a Minions movie. We spend the entire movie with the Minions. Like I said, they can be fine in small doses, but this is not a small dose. It's Minion overload, and while I did enjoy this film as a kid, it has aged horribly. But it's not like there aren't any funny moments in this film, they're just few and far between. Finishing off the top half of this ranking, we have Migration, a film everyone has forgotten even though it came out only a couple years ago. Now from a filmmaking standpoint, Migration is probably better than Minions, but at least Minions is memorable. With Migration, as soon as the credits rolled, the film left my mind. And despite only being 83 minutes long, the film feels like 2.5 hours. I never want to sit through it again. And despite all of that, it still ranks in the top half of my Illumination ranking. We have some real stinkers ahead. I know a lot of people actually like the Super Mario Bros. Movie, but I'm not one of them. To be fair, I don't actually have any connection to Mario in general, so this film did nothing for me. It's essentially a collection of Easter eggs and references with no proper story to pull it all together. And don't even get me started on Chris Pratt's voice acting. I think it's absolutely horrible. Animation-wise, this is one of the better looking Illumination movies, but this style really doesn't connect with me. I think this is an entirely uninteresting and frankly boring film, but it's still slightly better than the sequel. I know everyone has already said this before, but I'm gonna say it as well. The Secret Life of Pets is just a worse version of Toy Story. But instead of toys, we have pets, which, okay, I guess they're kinda cute. But to be honest, I'd rather just watch some funny cat videos on YouTube. This film thrives on appealing to the lowest common denominator. There's nothing unique, artistic, or memorable about it. There are a few chuckle-worthy moments here and there, but nothing to write home about. Sing 2 is a film that people for some reason seem to like, but I have no idea why. I guess it's better than the first one, but not by much. The story and characters are as generic as they get, and I find the music choices manipulative and annoying. Granted, I haven't seen the film since it came out, but I just remember rolling my eyes the entire time. But hey, it's not as bad as the original. I don't know, man. Harrison Ford plays a dog. That's most of what I remember about The Secret Life of Pets 2. I also remember it feeling excruciatingly long, even though it's only 86 minutes. At least the first movie had some cute moments. This one is just boring. One of those films I'm not even sure kids enjoy that much. Is there anyone whose favorite movie is The Secret Life of Pets 2? I genuinely don't think that person exists. For some reason, the Lorax has started to gain a bit of a fan base. People suddenly decided this is actually a good movie. No, it's not. The animation is so flat and hideous, and this film doesn't even care about its own message. It lacks all of the punch and personality of the Dr. Seuss source material. And I thought we all agreed on this, but it seems like people are looking back at this film with rose-tinted glasses. And I have no idea why. I haven't seen this film in a while, and I have no urge to revisit it. But hey, at least Danny DeVito was good casting, even though they underutilized him. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is the most recent addition to this list, and yeah, I don't like it. I don't care about the references, I don't care about the Easter eggs, I don't care about the characters, I don't care about the story. Not that there really is much of a story to begin with. This film was made for Mario fans, and absolutely no one else. It does not stand on its own. And would you believe me if I said Chris Pratt's voice acting is even worse than it was in the first film? He doesn't care at all, and neither do I. Sing is terrible. It's a film with no personality whatsoever. It relies entirely on recognizable pop songs. And even more so than the sequel, the characters and story are beyond generic. The only thing that makes this film even remotely distinguishable is the fact that the characters are animals. There's no reason for them to be animals, they just are. Sing is the epitome of what I hate about Illumination. It's such a lazy film. They did the bare minimum. Like, yeah, some of the songs are good, but this film didn't invent those songs. The songs are manipulative. They make the audience think they're witnessing something special when they're just listening to a song that they like. It's disgusting that this film made over 600 million at the box office. It's Illumination at their worst. Almost. Remember when I said Illumination's first film is their best? Well, their second film is their worst. Hop is one of the worst films I have ever seen in my entire life. It's an animation live-action hybrid, it looks terrible, and I actually can't think of a single redeeming aspect to this entire film. The main character is incredibly unlikable, the villain is actually the good guy of the story, and don't even get me started on the racist undertones. The film is 95 minutes long, it feels like an eternity, it has no narrative momentum whatsoever, and without getting into spoilers, the ending is one of the most ridiculous of all time. I could make an entire video on Hop, but that would require me to rewatch this film, so we'll see. But there you have it, that's my ranking of all 16 Illumination films. They've only ever made one good film, and that film is a 6 out of 10, so it's not looking good. I thought this would be a fun video to make, but it ended up being more depressing than anything. But whatever, to summarize this entire video, Illumination sucks. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.